My name is Omar Rampersad. It's Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019 at 12:55 p.m. in Toronto. I am going to show you today the tagging. My hand is tagged. He does high readings. Went up to 300. The other one. So yesterday when I did it, there was no reading. The last recording I did yesterday, there was no reading. Now here is the reading today. So the power is turned up. So I've been tweeting a lot of information about what's going on in the building. And so the power is turned up. So the jaw. Let's try the other one. And my head right here is hurting. I have a headache. I got up with one. My ear is hurting. So yesterday, it was not happening as I was recording. But today, from the comments outside the window, they've turned up the power, full power, maximum power. So I've talked about a little bit about Bernardo's case and the rape of the girls, and there is and I made some comments about possible connections between being a target and being raped, and there's been a lot of rapes in Scarborough, from what I read, and these two could be connected. I also made comments about I suspect, a pedophilia ring that was connected to the Bernardo's case, and Satanism. That's all connected to the police, because the police force is infiltrated again. Not all the police members, not all the members in the police force take part in this. Um, from what I read, senior members of Masonic groups and so on, and there's a lot of connection between the Masonic groups and Satanism. So, if you see satanic ritual rapes, stalking rapes, and killings, and there's a botched up investigation, you have to wonder if the botched up investigation is a cover up. And in my case, um, I've reported several times that I was stalked, and I am repeatedly being told, and still being told, that I'm mentally ill. So it's a cover up. I'm not mentally ill. So, I mean, venting is not a mental illness. Actually, venting is a good thing, according to my therapist. So it's in my mind, there is a possible connection between all of these things. A lot of people don't talk about it because they're afraid. Well, keep in mind that if you don't talk about it because you're afraid, what you should really be afraid of is rapists running around freely on the streets that somebody knows about and is not telling you. That's something to be afraid of. It's not about, we shouldn't be afraid to talk because of retaliation from these gangs and these criminals, because we are already at risk. We are already at risk. There's nothing that's going to change by talking, because we are already in danger of these people running around freely. And in Paul Bernardo's case and Karla Homolka's case, it's not only the investigations that was botched, that was mishandled so grossly as to put the public's life at risk. it was what happened afterwards. Why did Karla Homolka not get charged for his sister's death, murder? Why is Paul Bernardo still eligible for parole at all? Why did Karla Homolka get off with 12 years, even if she did get a deal? Why only 12 years? Why is she allowed to have access to have kids and to have access to her children? Why is she allowed to have access to other people's kids in a school without telling the people in the neighborhood that she's there? And on the flip side of that, why are innocent people like myself being targeted and flagged and openly stalked and talk about rape and murders around me all the time? What, like, doesn't make sense, obviously. It doesn't make sense. So there is other factors going on in this, this whole, this whole scenario. Some of it is not making sense, and it didn't make sense to a whole lot of people. It doesn't make sense to a lot of Canadians. The majority of Canadians doesn't see this making any logical sense. So, are we scared as Canadians to talk about Satanism? Are we scared to talk about the infiltration of our police force and our government and other agencies that has power over us? Are we scared to talk about the infiltration of these group of these agencies because we are scared of retaliation? Well, how many people were raped in Paul Bernardo's case that we know of? God knows how many that we didn't know of. Are we at risk? Is the fear of retaliation, does that balance with being constantly in danger? Should we be fearful of retaliation when we are already at such high risk of being attacked by these satanic groups and that is supporting and training rapists and putting them out there? Because I'm suspecting that Paul Bernardo was trained to be a rapist as part of an experiment. He was experimented on and trained to become a rapist, stalker, rapist, kidnapper, murderer, torturer by these signals and other technologies. So, should we be scared to talk about it when we're already being attacked, openly attacked on the street? We have people plowing us down, walking the sidewalk at Yonge and Finch. We are not safe in churches. We are not safe in our malls. We are not safe in our schools. We are not safe in our theaters. So why should we be scared of speaking out? So we should talk. We should be able to not only talk, but ask for investigations as to why all of this is happening. And in Bernardo's case, there was an investigation, there was a review, and the judge put it down to systemic failures in communication and turf wars between departments and regional police forces. The nature of the crime speaks to something else. He stopped short of saying in his review, he did a great review, although there was things I didn't agree with, and there seemed to be points that neutralized some of the points he brought up. But there were some points that he made that was very clear where the blame should lie. He came really close. Had he gone one step further, he would have talked about the infiltration, but that would be, this is a no-no topic. We're not supposed to talk about it. Now, if you're a member of a Masonic lodge, then obviously you took an oath saying that you cannot talk. You also took an oath saying that you're going to cover up your brother's crimes. I'm not saying that the judge was a member of a Mason, but if he was, it wouldn't be possible for him to talk about it because of the oaths that he took. Now, there are Masons in the police force, so given that they took the oath, swear on their life, they're going to lose their life if they talk about what's going on, then they're going to cover it up. That's what they're supposed to do. So it's interesting to note that Judge Archie Campbell, he did a review of the SARS, the handling of the SARS epidemic, and he was scathing in that review as well, talking about all the parties that was involved. And he got a degenerative lung disease. It's interesting to note that SARS is about respiratory problems that escalates really quickly and kills you. So this man had a degenerative lung disease, and he had to carry around a huge oxygen tank to court with him. He also had cancer. And after he did these two reviews, about 10 years after, he was dead, which means that he was sick for quite a bit during that time. So it's interesting to note that these signals can give you a lot of diseases like cancer. If they hit you on the lungs, you're going to get lung disease. If they hit you in the heart, you're going to get heart disease, and so on. Just turn up the power, and right now the power is off. See, gone. On, off. On, off. So when you turn up the power, when the power on these signals are turned up, it will give you degenerative lung disease. It will give you cancer. It will give you heart attacks. It will give you failed kidneys. This is not conspiracy theory. This is what is happening to targets. So I just got a pulse of pain on the back of my neck, and there the signal. So I'm just going to now, seeing that it's on and off, I'm just going to take my blood pressure and see what the pressure is. And it's off. I just got a pulse of pain in the back, and there it is. Just got a scan on the chest with a hiccup. And the pressure is normal. In fact, it's a little bit on the low side, 112/80, but the heart rate is high, 93. The one before that was 105/74, 73. So that was about 10 o'clock, 9:56. And the one before that was also normal. And the heart rate was normal as well. So I'm just curious to see what my temperature is. 37.2. 36.5 is normal. 37.8 is a fever. So the body temperature is running hot. 37.2. And that's because I'm being pulsed. 37.3. My internal temperature, 36.2 inside of the air. Oh, let's do that again. 36.6. 36.6. 36.5. So there's a difference between the air and the surface of the skin, 37.2. 37.2. 37.2. 37.2. So the internal temperature is lower than the skin temperature. That's because I'm being pulsed. So I'm going to turn this off.